Today, we're going to be talking about similes, and we're going to use picture books as mentor texts. And those were the books I used for this presentation, including my three books: Vera La Valiente is Scared, illustrated by Teresa Martinez; Bella's Recipe for Success by Geraldine Rodriguez, the art; and La Mala Suerte is Follow Me, art by Carlos Vélez Aguilera. While I was doing this presentation, I received this review by the school library journal, and I thought it was very, good timing. So many fun similes could easily be worked into a lesson on expressive language, exuberantly colorful illustration, a relatable story with wide appeal about bravery and emotional honesty. So my presentation is all about similes, so I thought that was a very good review. What is a simile? A simile is when you compare things using like or as. For example, I can run like a lion, or your ears are like silk purses, like this one here, or I am crying like a baby, or I am as brave as a pig. I don't know. So when you create a simile, you create a vivid image in the person who is reading your story. So it becomes more interesting. And it also adds more fun to your writing. So your stories become more interesting and expressive. I am Vera the Brave, La Valiente. I dive like a dolphin. I climb like a mountain goat. I defend mis amigos like un león, but I tremble like a chick. Being chased by a wolf when Mrs. Rodriguez says the worst news ever. Here you can see many similes included using like and as. Here we can see that she says, my brain spins faster than a twister, and I feel something is going up, rising up my throat. So she is very expressive, and all those similars make us relate to her, and we know exactly how she is feeling. And it's also connected to the theme. The theme is roller coaster, so I like to use similes that are related to the roller coaster theme and topic of the story. In this book, I Am the Storm by Jane Yolen, Heidi Stemple, and illustrated. I cannot read the illustrator's name, but it's right there. You can see that on the first page they said, when the wind howling blew loud as a train. Here you can imagine the wind. You can see the wind in your mind with all those expressions, right? You don't think it's, no, you know it's not a little breeze. It is a strong wind because it says loud as a train. In Bella's Recipe for Success by me and Geraldine Rodriguez from Beaming Books, she says, my somersaults are like girafes rolling downhill. So you can imagine how somersaults are really, really bad, right? Then when she's playing the piano, boom, boom, she said, my hands are as heavy as elephant's feet. And you can see they are not happy. The audience doesn't like her piano skills. In this book called Love by Matt de la Pena, illustrator Lauren Long, They add a lot of lyricism because he's comparing love to a lot of things, concrete things, things that happens around you, like you're dancing, you are eating a toast, everything can be love. So he says the sky turns the color of love when they are dancing here on top of the trailer. Everything smells like life, everything smells like new. So you can see that everything can be love, and he is using love as a big metaphor or a simile. So we can understand what love can be. In this book, La Mala Suerte is following me by me and Carlos Velez Aguilera with Charles Bridge Publishing. You can see that he adds a lot of humor with his funny similes. He says, I walk as slow as a tortuga with a broken leg. So it is a very dramatic and I think it's kind of funny. Also, it connects to the theme because he has a tournament, a soccer tournament, and he's very scared because La Mala Suerte, the bad luck, is following him, that he's not going to do well. So he said my stomach rose like a soccer ball. So you can see how you can get the topic of your story, if it's soccer, if it's fear, if it's roller coaster, and you can include funny metaphors or similar, including something related to your topic. In this beautiful book with a lot of poems called A Place Inside of Me, it talks like all the feelings that you have inside of you and compare the feelings with something around you. For example, joy glows bright and warm as the sun. So there are many feelings and very beautifully done. I love it. And you can talk about your feelings. How, when you feel joy, how does it feel? Does it feel warm as the sun? Does it feel like, for me, maybe joy would be like eating popsicle. Um, I don't know, eating popsicle because I love popsicle, but eating popsicle on the beach and getting all sticky and stuff and feeling very happy. In this book, Fry Bread, you get something that is concrete, something you can touch. And you're going to compare that to things that you cannot touch. So, for example, it is history, it's warm like rays of the sun. It is culture, it's light like snow and cream. It is color, it's deep like coffee. And it's a connection, links foods to heritage, to history, to color. It is much more than just a bread. It is a bread that represents their connection, their heritage, and many other feelings. In Quick as a Cricket by Audrey Wood, illustrated by Don Wood, it's you have a lot of different um, similes, and they use a lot of animals. So he said, I'm as mean as a shark. I'm as tough as a rhino. I'm as quick as a cricket. So you can think about you and all your personality traits and try to compare to animals. That can be a fun exercise. This book, Crazy Like a Fox, A Simile Story by Lauren Leedy, is all about similes. So you're going to see a story with that fox, but the whole story is going to be told by similes. It's really fun. And you can see that a lot of times you can use different similes for the same thing. For example, sleeping like a log or as quiet as a mouse. So they have many different things sometimes on the page that means basically the same. And it's really fun to compare, see which one is your favorite. Here we have some abstract, something you cannot touch, like being quiet. Quiet is not something you can touch, right? And you're gonna compare this quiet to something that you can touch. So some, for example, or something that you can see in this case. For example, quiet is strength. Quiet is as strong as a monarch in migration. Here also, quiet is like being a smile, a kind smile. So it's really poetic. So you can add a little bit of lyricism to your story, make it more poetic and more interesting, more fun, and more relatable. Now it is your turn. You should complete those sentences and then create your own sentences using similes. For example, I am as fast as a. If you're not fast, you can change to I'm as slow. I would say I'm as slow as a turtle with a broken leg. Or make it personal. So choose your quality. What do you think you are? I am as fast as, I am as smart as, I am as special as, and then compare. And you can share your work by going to my website, anafiction.com. I would love to see your similes. This book that I put here is Brave as a Lion. I read it after I made this presentation, but it's also a fun book to talk about similes. Bye.